You know what's ruining your life? You care too much about people's opinions, about being liked, about being perfect, about everything that doesn't even matter. You worry about what others think of your clothes, your grades, your job, your looks, your social media posts, and deep down, you're constantly trying to prove something to everyone. But here's the truth: the less you care, the more peace you find. The book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson, isn't about being careless or cold. It's about caring deeply, but only about the right things. It's about mastering the art of selective attention, choosing your battles, choosing your pain, and choosing your values wisely. And today on Dimensphere, we're going to dive deep into the lessons from this brutally honest, life-changing book that will challenge everything you thought you knew about happiness, success, and meaning. So stay with me till the end, because this one might just reset your mind. We live in a world that constantly tells us to care about everything. From social media likes to strangers' opinions, we're drowning in expectations. But what if I told you that caring less doesn't mean you're lazy? It means you're free. Mark Manson says we all have a limited number of F's to give, and if you waste them on meaningless things, you'll have none left for what truly matters. Think about it. You get angry when someone disagrees with you, stressed when people don't like your posts, or jealous when someone else succeeds. But none of these things add any real value to your life. You can't please everyone. You can't win every argument. You can't control how people see you. What you can control is what you give your attention to. When you learn to stop caring about the noise, you'll finally start hearing your own voice. That's the first lesson. Stop giving a fuck about everything and start caring about the few things that truly deserve your time and energy. Now, let's talk about happiness. Everyone wants to be happy. We chase it through money, fame, love, and success, but we forget one simple truth. Happiness doesn't come from avoiding problems, it comes from solving them. Real happiness is not a life without pain. It's the satisfaction you feel when you face pain and grow stronger. Mark Manson writes, "Don't hope for a life without problems. Hope for a life full of good problems." Think about that. Every dream you chase will bring new struggles, but they're meaningful struggles. The stress of building your career, the effort of maintaining a relationship, the pain of self-discipline, these are all signs that you're moving forward. When you accept that problems are part of life, they stop scaring you. You begin to see pain as a teacher, not an enemy. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" start asking, "What can I learn from this?" That's how you transform suffering into strength. One of the hardest truths this book teaches is this: you're not special, and that's okay. We've been raised to believe we're destined for greatness, that we're extraordinary, that we deserve success just because we want it. But that mindset makes us miserable. When we expect too much from life, every failure feels like a tragedy. Manson says, the desire to be extraordinary is what keeps you average. Accepting that you're not special doesn't mean giving up. It means embracing reality. It means realizing that greatness doesn't come from believing you're better than others, but from consistently improving yourself little by little without comparing. When you accept that you're ordinary, you free yourself from the constant pressure to prove something. You stop chasing perfection and you start focusing on progress. You start enjoying the process instead of obsessing over the result. And here's something even deeper. Taking responsibility for your life is the key to true freedom. We love to blame others. We blame our parents, our bosses, the government, the system, the world, and maybe they did make things harder. But blaming doesn't change anything. The moment you start taking responsibility, everything shifts. You may not control what happens to you, but you always control how you respond. That's where your real power lies. Responsibility doesn't mean guilt. It means ownership. It means saying, "This is my life, and I decide how it goes from here." Once you take ownership of your problems, they stop owning you. You stop being a victim, and you become the author of your own story. Now, let's talk about failure, the thing everyone fears, but no one escapes. Failure hurts, but avoiding failure means avoiding growth. Every person you admire, every successful artist, entrepreneur, or thinker has failed more times than you've even tried. The difference is they didn't give up. They learned, adapted, and kept moving forward. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's the foundation of it. Manson says, the key to a good life is not giving a fuck about more. It's giving a fuck about less. Only what is true and immediate and important. That means stop chasing 100 goals. Choose one, fall in love with it, fail at it, learn from it, and try again. That's how you build real strength, not by avoiding pain, but by walking through it. And then comes the final, ultimate lesson. You're going to die someday. Sounds dark? It's actually the most liberating truth you'll ever hear. When you realize that your time is limited, everything changes. You stop wasting energy on things that don't matter. You stop living for others and start living for yourself. You stop waiting for the right time, because there's no such thing. Death gives meaning to life. It reminds us that every moment counts. Mark Manson writes, "You are going to die someday, and that's what makes you alive." When you truly understand that, you begin to live differently. You forgive faster, love deeper, and speak more honestly. You start focusing on the experiences that make life beautiful, not on the nonsense that drains you. At the end of the day, the subtle art of not giving a fuck isn't about being indifferent. It's about being intentional. It's not about ignoring life. It's about focusing on the parts that truly matter. It's about understanding that you don't have to win every argument, impress every person, or fix every problem. Life is short. You'll never have time to care about everything, so stop trying. Care less about the noise and more about your peace. Care less about being liked and more about being real. Care less about success and more about meaning. Because when you stop giving a fuck about everything, you finally have space to give your energy to the things that make you feel truly alive. So as you finish this video, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what are the things I'm caring too much about right now? Who am I trying to impress? What really matters to me? Once you answer that honestly, your life will start to change. Quietly, but powerfully. Remember, peace doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing what matters most. This was The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson, a book that doesn't teach you how to stay positive all the time, but how to face reality, accept imperfection, and find peace in the chaos. If this message touched you, don't just scroll away. Sit with it, reflect on it, let it change the way you think, live, and love. You've been watching Dimensphere, where we explore the unseen dimensions of thought, emotion, and existence. Thank you for being here. Stay curious, stay brave, and I'll see you in the next one.